Good morning. So we are going in for blood work. One of the things with the kids being on the various seizure medicine means that the doctors have to do regular blood work just to check to make sure that all the medication isn't causing any damage to anything else. And they also want to check that the medication's at the right level for the child's weight. So Jacob is getting his blood work done today. You haven't been able to have breakfast today, have you?
Yeah.
So it's fasting blood work, so we're here early. Jacob's missed breakfast. He got to see all his siblings having breakfast.
Yeah.
But what do we do after blood work that's special to make it special?
Have a treat.
So we usually go for donuts for breakfast, don't we?
Yeah.
Do you know what kind of donut you're gonna have?
I don't know.
We've got all these tents up at the hospital to screen everybody before they go in, just to make sure that there's no COVID symptoms. Where your arm bends on the inside, okay?
Okay.
How are you feeling?
I can feel my heart.
You can feel your heart down there in your stomach?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, well just relax. So when you feel better enough to sit up, you can sit up for a bit before we walk, okay?
Okay.
Bit better?
Yeah.
Tell me when you're ready to go to the van.
I'm ready.
Okay. What happened, Jacob?
I had a seizure.
You were doing so well. You had all your blood work, and you were so brave.
Yeah.
And we waited a few minutes.
Yeah.
Then you had to go in for a urine sample.
Yeah.
And they came in to help you, which was a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because then you had a seizure.
Yeah.
How are you feeling now?
Shaky.
You're really shaky right now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, we got you in the van. We'll have rest.
Okay.
We waited at the lab a little bit so that you were feeling well enough to come to the van, but they're quite busy there, so we had to come out, didn't we? Okay. Just have a rest. We'll sit here for a bit in the parking lot, okay?
Okay.
How are you doing?
Still shaky.
Do you think we should try and go home?
It's no food.
No, we will drive home, but we'll go through the drive-thru for your donuts
Okay.
and go home.
Yeah.
You think you're up to that?
Yeah.
Or should we keep sitting for a few more minutes?
Up to it.
You're up to it?
Yeah.
You're just gonna relax there?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we'll go through drive-thru to get your donuts, and we'll take them home.
Yeah.
So when you're feeling up to it, then you can eat them, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So we got your donuts.
Yeah.
How are you feeling now?
Better. Still shaky.
You are shaking quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you feeling cold?
No.
No, you just feel shaky?
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Do you remember what happened?
I went to the hospital
Why did we go to the hospital?
to got the blood test.
And then what happened?
Then I had a seizure.
Hmm.
How did I get off the floor?
You didn't actually land on the floor. You were on the toilet, and I was helping you to catch your urine sample
Yeah.
in the little cup, and then you started to seize.
Yeah.
So I held on to you enough so that you wouldn't fall on the floor and you wouldn't hit your head on the sink. So I had to really struggle to try and balance you on that toilet because you were having a grand mal seizure, so your legs and your body went all stiff and it was shaking a lot. And I had to try and balance you on the toilet and protect your head so that you wouldn't get hurt.
Thank you.
Yep, that's what mamas do. They keep you safe.
And Dad's.
And Dad's, yep. But Dad wasn't there this time.
Yeah.
Okay. So they actually say when someone's seizing that you shouldn't hold on to them. But we try to carefully hold you so if we can, so that you don't get hurt. And this was a case of I could hold you carefully to help protect your head.
Yeah.
Okay? Because otherwise we might have other problems.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you think you want to eat a donut now, or do you want to wait till you get home?
Wait until I get home
Okay.
and share with the teachers and kids.
Yeah, you got 24 donuts there
Yeah.
so that everybody could join in?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get going home. So that's kind of ironic that Jacob had a seizure when we were doing blood work to test his seizure medications. So it's not uncommon for Jacob to have seizures in situations that cause him stress, or like situations where you might have a fight or flight type of reaction. Quite often Jacob will have seizures in those types of situations. So we did know that this was a possibility. I had written a note on my cell phone and shown it to the lab technician so that she knew that it was a possibility that Jacob might have a seizure. He hadn't brought up the fact that he has had seizures before when he's had blood work, and he seemed pretty relaxed about going for blood work, so I didn't want to put that idea in his head that he might have a seizure, because nobody needs that type of stress. So I discreetly showed my phone to the lab tech, and she just nodded, and we made sure that Jacob was lying on a bed in a safe situation, that if he had a seizure he'd be in a safe position. They called in an extra lab tech to help, just to make sure that he had all the safety precautions needed. We took our time doing the blood work. After the blood work, we had him sit on the bed for a while just to make sure that he was doing okay and everything looked good. And he was doing so well. So then it was time to get the urine sample done. So I went with him into the bathroom just to make sure that everything was okay, just knowing that he has a history of seizing after having blood work. And that's when he had a seizure. Fortunately, he was sitting down on the toilet at this point, so it was just a case of keeping him safe, which is a little bit harder than you might imagine when you've got someone having a grand mal seizure and they're on the toilet. And then there's also that fear, because his pants are down, that he might urinate all over me. Fortunately, he didn't. So there is those fears, but the biggest fear is keeping him safe. I was able to pull the emergency bell, and the lab technicians were able to come in and give us some assistance. And then we went back into the room where they did the blood work, and he was able to lie on the bed until he was feeling better. It took Jacob most of the day till he actually felt good again. We came home for about 2 hours from the time that he had the seizure till about 2 hours later. He was shaking, and it wasn't that he was cold, his body was just tremoring so bad, and that took about 2 hours to go away. And then he just didn't feel well. His stomach was upset, he had a headache, he was very tired, so he laid on the couch for the rest of the day. He had some naps off and on, he watched some movies, and fortunately by bedtime he was feeling a lot better. So now we just have to wait for the blood work to come in and hopefully they got everything that they needed and we don't have to do that again for a little while.